Hey, what's going on YouTube? For today's video, we're going to have a quick discussion on the new spy shots of the next generation Mustang. So what we're looking at here is apparently pictures of the next generation Mustang, which would be the S650. Now let's talk about what we could take away from the picture so far. What we're really looking at, in my opinion, is some sort of base model Mustang. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, first dead giveaway is the brakes. These are not big brakes, these are not 4-piston brakes, and they're most certainly not any sort of branding brakes like the Brembos. Obviously no spoiler, and let's be honest, look at that that hilarious 4x4 stance that Mustangs are notorious to have, especially the base models. What else can we take away from these spy shots? One of the things that I've been reading, and that I want to point out to everyone that's watching the video, is that there is a hump, or if you want to call it a raised line, in the center of the hood. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if that's really part of the design of the next generation Mustang, or I wonder if Ford's getting clever and just kind of putting something there to throw everyone off. Looking at the new headlights, definitely have some sort of smaller LED looking headlights. I'm not sure how I feel about them. I'm sure it's going to look good. I guess, be a good time for me to discuss some of the concept pictures I've come across, which does seem to look like the headlights, and if that's going to be the case, I think they're going to look pretty really good. Taillights don't look Mustang at all to me. As everyone's well aware, Mustangs are notorious for the three separate lenses or lights, if you want to call it, in the taillights. So I think what we're looking here is just kind of being covered up for what the real taillights will be, which kind of is going to bring me into my next topic, if you will, which is, is this some sort of facelift to the S550 Mustang? And I don't think it is. A lot of that has to do with the fact that if you really look how well this car is covered, I mean, they really did a good job, I think, covering this car. If you look at back when they were doing the facelift for the S550 Mustang back in 2018, it's not quite covered like this car is. So, as I previously mentioned, I don't believe this is a facelift. Typically, Ford has one facelift per generation. If we look at the 2005 to 2014 model, the S197, they did a facelift back in 2013, only a few years away from revealing the new generation that we currently have, the S550. Same thing for the S550. They didn't do a facelift till 2018. So it's just on par that we're ready for a new generation Mustang. So I truly don't think this is a facelift. However, and this is the big however, and this gets me into sort of the topic of the video, everyone, is that it does have a lot of S550 vibes. I mean, if you just look at the side profile, it's very, very, very similar, which is what my thumbnail is to kind of showcase, and I might pop that picture right back up now, to showcase the similarities between the two generations here. So what is my speculation? What I really think we might have here is a new generation Mustang, but it might be off of the same or similar chassis, which, believe it or not, is being done already with another competitor, Nissan. Everyone knows the new Nissan 400Z, or as Nissan calls it, the Nissan Z. It does not actually have a new chassis. It is a new car, it's a new generation. It's a twin-turbo V6 engine, but if you look at the chassis code, Nissan's come flat out and said it shares the same Z34 chassis code. So what a lot of manufacturers are doing to save costs, obviously, is to change around the car drastically enough that it is a different car, not just simply changing the bumper and the headlights and maybe updating a few interior parts, is that they're using the same chassis code, and making a new car out of it. So it should be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm not sure if Ford's ever done that in the past. You want to comment below. Maybe with the SN95. I think that might be the same chassis. So maybe they have done it in the past. But typically we went from the S197 to the S550. That was a whole new platform, from the ground up. So there is a good chance that this particular chassis actually is the S550 Mustang, but it's not a facelift. Before I move on to speculations on engines and not have that conversation, guys, comment below. Tell me what you think this car. Is it a facelift, which I don't think it is? Is it some sort of next generation S650 Mustang? However, it is based off the S550 chassis. Tell me what you think below. So moving right along to, I want to take a minute to discuss about the engine. You know, going on to next generation cars, we already know that Dodge is coming out with the E-Muscle for their next generation muscle cars, for their next generation Challenger, Charger, or whatever the heck their next car might be. So we are definitely heading towards EVs, electric vehicles, and we're moving away from gas-powered vehicles. So once again, looking at these spy shots, though, it's very clear by just the fact that it has exhaust pipes at the end of it that it is some sort of gas-powered car. I would assume some sort of 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder engine, most likely. So the big question, though, becomes, will it have a V8? Will there be a famous Coyote motor coming back? Maybe a 4th-gen Coyote motor? But what I did come across an article in Ford Authority is reporting the fact that there is going to be a return of the V8, most likely the Coyote. However, it's going to be a hybrid V8. And I know that might disappoint some, but let's face it, with the squeeze that car manufacturers are getting from all the governments around the world, we're lucky to be getting any sort of V8. If you just check out the CAS standards, which is a regulation for fuel economy by the United States government, you're going to see that manufacturers are not going to be able to continue manufacturing 5.0 liter V8s, 392s, Hellcats, GT500s. It's just not going to be feasible with the new standards being put into place by governments once again around the world, but even the United States government with the CAS standards. If you're not familiar with that, take a look at that on Google. It's pretty interesting. Once again, guys, keeping the video kind of short, just chit-chatting about, you know, there's just a couple spy photos. We'll dive more into it as we get more information. Make sure you comment below. If you like the quick video, make sure you smash that like button. If you want to stay up to date with all content related to the new Mustang coming out, make sure you subscribe. I also have a high mileage 2015 Dodge Charger that I do very extensive coverage on my channel, as well as my 3-valve Mustang, as well as I'm hoping to get back my Supra soon. So I have plenty of content for everyone. Make sure you guys come back and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.